welcome to another set of video notes. I say that every time, don't I? Are you tired of hearing it? I'm tired of saying it. But anyhow, we are moving on to 4.7. Now the title of the lesson is completing the square. But before we can even get to that idea, we're going to go back and kind of look at how we can solve quadratic equations by finding square roots. Now we did this the other day, and remember sometimes we wound up with a negative number, and that's when we created I and all that stuff. So you might say, I know how to do that, why do I have to review this? Well, I don't think this looked like the ones before, right? Because we got x squared all by itself. We got the squared term all by itself. Well, we can do this with the square root. What we're going to need to do first is write and the big official word is polynomial, because there's lots of terms. But you could just call this the big list of numbers, or the standard thing, whatever you want to say. We're going to write the polynomial as, oops, I shouldn't say the, as a perfect square. Okay, and this is going to be where those rules, those special factoring things are going to come into play. Because some of you might look at this and go, x squared, perfect square, 16 perfect square, so that must be x minus 4 times x minus 4, and let's see, outer terms give us negative 4, inner terms give us negative 4, oh yeah, that's negative 8, and so that's x minus 4 squared. So basically, if you just take the square root of the c, or the plain number, the constant, you'll be able to figure it out. Look at this one for the sum, okay? Now the other thing, if you just love a, b, and c, you could go through and say a is 1, and b is negative 8, and c is 16, and what are the factors of a times c that give me b? Oh yeah, negative 4, okay? But anyhow, either way, we need to write the polynomial as a perfect square. So we did. Now, at this point, we have a perfectly squared thing, and we have this side. So the next thing you're going to do is take the square root of both sides. Remember, we're undoing the squared, and to undo it, you take the square root, and you get x minus 4 over here, and you either get a positive or a negative 5. Okay, it's important that you keep track of both of those. Now, is the x by itself? Nope. So we're going to add 4 to both sides, and we get x equals 4 plus or minus 5. And that's just saying you can first add them together, or you can then subtract them. So what would 4 plus 5 be? Well, that's 9. What's 4 minus 5? Negative 1. So your answer is 9 or negative 1. Those are the solutions. Those are the numbers that you could plug in and have it work. On a graph, this is going to be your x-intercepts, okay? Any one of those, all right? Let's go ahead and do one more example just to kind of get you used to this. So here we go. We know the first thing we want to do is write this as a perfect square. So, 100. That's a perfect square. 10 and 10. And 10 and 10 give us 20. So x plus 10, x plus 10, okay? Now we can rewrite this as x plus 10 squared, okay? And then we take the square root of each side. We get x plus 10. The square root takes care of the square, so we're left with x plus 10, and we have plus or minus 9. Next thing, subtract 10 from each side, and we get x equals negative 10 plus 9, plus or minus 9, sorry. And now we can actually do it out. Negative 10 plus 9 is negative 1. Negative 10 minus 9 is negative 19. So x equals negative 1 or negative 19, and you're done. Okay? So I know this was a really short video, but the next one's going to get kind of longer. So I thought I'd give you a break right now. Bye.